The back end of your draft is very important. The double-digit rounds can make you a lot of money if you play it right, if you have a strategy, if you know what's available, and if you know the prices, the average draft position of the players that usually tend to go in this round. There are a lot of running backs this year who are hanging out in double-digit rounds that you can really smash that draft button on and really take advantage of some upside. Take that gamble and see what happens with them throughout the season, and you can flip them, wheel them, deal them, do whatever you want, but you're never going to have that upside if you don't take that gamble there in the later rounds. One running back we're going to be looking at today is Roschon Johnson, rookie running back of the Chicago Bears. Interesting draft profile here as he shared the field with Bijan Robinson. But this guy's got good size, adjust athleticism, good pop off the step, is going to get some work, and is in a very ambiguous backfield, which we could see him get opportunities somewhere this year. It just seems almost too good to be true. Draft capital is okay. First running back drafted on day 3, early 4th round, which means the Chicago Bears finished the second day of the draft, went over it all night, came back that morning and said, hey, we need a Roschon Johnson. And looking at the stats here, I can't see why they shouldn't here. 402 yards after contact, 4.28 yards after contact per attempt. That's sharing the field with Bijan Robinson. Again, we don't have any 1,000-yard seasons to this guy because he's been sharing the backfield, but 649 rushing yards last season, 7 touchdowns, catching 23 balls, and he's a bigger running back. He's a solid player. 46 forced missed tackles on 123 rush attempts. His teammate Bijan Robinson led all of college football. These guys are making guys miss left and right. He's got some pop in his step. He can hold it down between the tackles. A running back they can count on. And then we're looking at the depth chart here. We got Foreman, Khalil Herbert, the incumbent. And we see a pathway to where he could be seeing touches sooner than later in 2023, his rookie season. They don't draft these running backs to groom. You don't draft the running back to groom anymore and hope for year 2, year 3 you got something. You got to throw them into the fire now because running backs are a dime a dozen. Running backs are turn and burn themselves these days. That's how the NFL looks at them. You can tell that with the contract negotiations with these running backs to how they're letting some of these running backs slide in the draft, even though they are more talented than their draft position compared to previous seasons. The market's resetting, and they don't have time to wait for these running backs to develop. So they're going to throw this guy into the fire sooner than later. Looking at his draft portfolio, drafted in the 4th round, 6'2", 219, 22 years old, 4-year player out of college. So we got a guy here with some size here. Draft pedigree isn't the greatest. 4th round players do hit though. Look at Dameon Pierce of last year. So we might see this year's Dameon Pierce eventually throughout the year. Maybe that 4.58 40-yard dash, 65th percentile size adjusted speed score. Look who's he's compared to up top there. Again, fast enough. Has the size, going back to that, 219 pounds. Nothing to shake a stick at. Not many running backs in this draft have that type of size, have that type of movement. So that's a rarity there. And they needed that. They wanted that. They wanted someone between the tackles. Khalil Herbert's listed at 210, probably a little bit more, a little less, depending if he had Taco Bell that day. But still, Roschon Johnson gives you something here as a rookie to really help this team that could give you some upside. Because if he starts getting opportunity, he has the gusto in his game to really, really go off. Be an RB1. Because he's got that size-adjusted athleticism. He moves well. He moves very well for his size. Moves laterally, makes guys miss. 46 missed tackles, remember, from last year. That's hard to do. There's a lot of running backs who were the starter for their team that did not get that. That did not hit that number. And he did that. Sharing the backfield with Bijan Robinson. Looking here at the opportunity share, at the touches from last year. Remember, David Montgomery is gone, and he had a 29% opportunity share alone, with a 38% share of the rushing attempts, 194 per se, 40 targets out of the backfield. we should expect some more out of Khalil Herbert. We should expect him more opportunity. Granted, he played just 12 games. He had some injuries there. That happens. We also have Foreman there. But Roschon Johnson should eat some of this. He should eat some of this. Even with the 3 backs healthy, he should get something. He should give you something to look at, something to pay attention to. But really, when we're thinking about Roschon Johnson this year, we're thinking about attrition. With all these young running backs sitting here in the back half of the draft, all these rookies who are drafted in the middle rounds, 3rd round, 4th round, these guys who you're drafting here as speculative assets, guys, you're drafting cheap, hoping that you hit big that lottery ticket. We're just seeing if attrition, injuries happen to this team, he gets anointed, or something happens where the running backs aren't doing that great, they throw him in, he gets more opportunities, or he gets a couple good runs, he gets a couple more attempts because of that, and it just keeps snowballing. Whatever the case is, we're buying the lottery ticket. The lottery ticket's cheap. The lottery ticket is damn near free. Round 13, 14 ADP, 1401 on average across all the sites. Look here at the top here. I got the ADP of all the sites here. ESPN, about 199. We're about the 200 range on ESPN. NFL.com, he's falling like a stone. People ain't even drafting him. I don't think many people have drafted on NFL.com yet, so that may not be real. Yahoo, 172. So probably about the 170 to 200 range. Call it 185 maybe. Maybe that's in the middle. My math's all jacked up. But still, cheap. 13th, 14th round range. 12th round maybe if someone gets a little froggy. But he's cheap. Double-digit rounds about the end of your draft. You're looking to draft him as an upside speculative asset because if he gets opportunity, he could win big for you. You got some other guys to look at. And I understand, like, I like Zamir White. I like him a lot. Damian Harris is in a good situation. There's other running backs to look at. But we're focusing on him today because we go over one player at a time on this series. But what you need, if you need him, this is why. You want the unknown upside. You're going 0 RB, you're going here RB. And you're cashing in on those late running backs, and you're just drafting them left and right. You need more running back depth, and you're using the deep rounds to do it. Potential spike weeks, because guys like this have the potential to give you those boom bust profiles throughout the season. And then you don't want them because you want somebody else that has upside. But you have to be chasing upside at this point of the draft. You have to be doing it. Unless you're going like quarterback, or if you have to draft kickers or defense. But you have to be chasing upside. When you're looking at the running backs and wide receivers, you have to be chasing on players that if they get the opportunity, they can win your league. And then if it's not working out, then you make your decisions later with the waiver wire and whatnot. If you catch him on the waiver wire, you need to be proactive and just pick him up. Unless there's negative news out there, he's been hurt or whatever. If you catch him on the waiver wire in your league, say he starts off a little bit slow in the first couple of weeks in your league, which fundamentally you shouldn't be doing. If you draft him, you should be trying to hold as long as you can. But we know how leagues can be. If he's there, you just need to take that stab, grit your teeth, pick him up, because that is a speculative asset, a running back that can go boom anytime during the year. And somebody somewhere in the billions of leagues out there probably will get a little fancy and drop a rookie that they shouldn't. That's just how it is. And you got to play the game. You got to play the game of upside. You got to know your risk management and what you need on your team, what you don't. Not all players are for everybody, too. If you're not into drafting rookies and you're not into waiting a few weeks, potentially, it could be week 1, then you may want to sit this one out and get you a veteran. Some guy that's getting you a few points a game. Some guy that could get you some upside if opportunities go their way. That's just the running back position by nature. But if you can't handle rookies, you may want to sit it out. But Roschon Johnson is a guy you want to look at. You want to take advantage of. You're getting him for cheap. He's one of those running backs in your draft. We get it every year. Those rookie running backs drafted 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rounds. They got upside. They got potential. They got another guy in their way. Maybe 2. And you know what? Things happen. I remember David Johnson back in the day had some roadblocks on his team that didn't really appear to be roadblocks. And people were picking him up, dropping him, picking him back up and down, and then eventually helped you win your league because he went off. And we see these scenarios happen all the time in fantasy football. And you got to know who are the prospects that could do it? Who are the prospects to keep an eye on throughout the season? Who are you going to have to juggle off and on throughout the year and hold as long as you can, like Roschon Johnson? This is a guy that you need to do it. Once you draft him, hold him as long as possible because he is a fabulous prospect. Tons of upside here, just like the other running backs we've been talking about. You need to be patient with these rookies. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you smash that subscribe button on the way out so you can stop missing this content. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.